this will be your first time at the monastery. I'd be happy to show you around.
It really is Fodlan in a nutshell. The good and the bad.
Like it or not, we'll be there soon enough. There it is. Garreg Mach Monastery.
Rhea's here.
I wonder, did the flow of time bring you here?
It's been years since I've last set eyes on this place. To be forced to see her now, I've never spoken of this to you before, but many years ago, I was a knight here. I reported to the Archbishop, Lady Rhea. As you know, the majority of folks in Fodlan are devout followers of the teachings of Seros. The leader of that ridiculously large religious organization is the Archbishop, Lady Rhea.
Thank you for your patience, Gerald. My name is Seteth. I am an advisor to the Archbishop.
Right. Hello.
It has been a long time, Gerald. I wonder, was it the will of the goddess that we have another chance meeting like this?
Forgive my silence all these years. Much has happened since we last spoke.
So I see. The miracle of fatherhood has blessed you. That is your child, is it not?
Yes. Born many years after I left this place. I wish I could introduce you to the mother of my child, but I'm afraid we lost her to illness.
I see. My condolences. As for you, I heard of your valiant efforts from Alois. What is your name? A fine name indeed. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for saving those students of the Officers' Academy. Gerald, you already know what it is I wish to say, do you not?
You want me to rejoin the Knights of Seros, don't you? I won't say no, but...
Your apprehension stings. I had expected that Alois would have already asked this of you. I must step away for now, but I expect they will desire a word with you soon. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Until tomorrow, farewell.
I can't believe it. Forced back into the Knights of Seros. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Looks like I'll be stuck here for a while. And I'm afraid your services are requested as well. Nothing like that. They want you to teach, by the sound of it. You heard those brats earlier talking about the Officers' Academy, right? Well, the Academy just happens to be short a professor. And apparently that damned Alois went and recommended you to Lady Rhea.
So, you must be the new professor. My, how stern and handsome you are.
No. I'm not the one you're looking for. You can handle things from here. Good luck. And watch out for Lady Rhea. I don't know what she's thinking making you a professor like this. She may be up to something. Stay on your guard.
Oh, it's you then? So young.
Competence and age are not necessarily correlated, as you well know. I am Hanneman, a Crest Scholar and Professor at the Officers' Academy. I wonder if you bear a crest of your own. When next you have a moment to spare, I insist that you pay me a visit so we can delve into the subject further.
I'm Manuela. I'm a professor, a physician, a songstress, and available. It's nice to meet you. Of course. Before I came here, I belonged to a renowned opera company. Perhaps you've heard of me? The Middlefranc Opera Company is beautiful, peerless.
Spare our colleague the needless chatter, Manuela. Now then, it seems you'll be taking charge of one of the Academy's 3 houses. I expect you haven't yet been briefed on the nature of each, have you?
Do you really not know? Fine. I'll do you a favor and explain. The Officers' Academy is comprised of 3 houses of students, each of which is closely affiliated with its region of origin. The Black Eagle House is for students from the Adrestian Empire. Their house leader this year is Edelgard, the Imperial Princess, who is in line to be the next Emperor.
The Blue Lion House is for students from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Their house leader this year is Prince Dimitri. He is to be the next king of Fargus.
Lastly, there is the Golden Deer House, which is for students of the Leicester Alliance. Their house leader is Claude, grandson to Duke Regan, the leader of the Alliance.
To think that the next Emperor, King, and Sovereign Duke are all here. It certainly is a promising year for the Academy.
I'll say. I just hope none of those little treasures cause any trouble.
Quite. For now, I suggest taking a stroll around the Academy to get your bearings. And when you've a moment, please stop by my research laboratory.
The old man has a point. Oh, and keep in mind that I've only notified the house leaders that you're our new professor. It's more fun that way. I suggest you try spending time with the students. Some odd ducks in that bunch, but they're good kids. I'm sure Lady Rhea will have more information for you tomorrow, but that should get you going. Good luck. You'll need it.
Have you no intention of changing your mind, Rhea? Appointing a stranger, a child no less, as a professor at our esteemed academy is...
I have made my decision, Sedith. I know worrying comes naturally to you, but there is truly no need. That stranger is Gerald's flesh and blood, after all.
I can't say that's all too comforting. How trustworthy is this Gerald character? Is he not the man who went missing after the Great Fire 21 years ago? I would remind you that Flayn is now here with us as well. I beg of you, please consider whether this is an unnecessary risk.
Sedith, they have my trust. Let that be enough for you as well. More importantly, I have received a report from Shamir. I am increasingly concerned about a matter regarding our suspicious individual. We cannot ignore those who harbor ill will toward the Church, especially if they are frequenting Garreg Mach.
Yes, that matter is of great importance as well. I shall continue my investigation. Rhea, for now I will have faith that you are placing your trust with the utmost care. I pray that nothing occurs to shake that confidence.
How's it going, everybody? This is Sunaak here, welcoming you back to Fire Emblem 3 Houses. In the last episode, we helped 3 students of the Garreg Mach Monastery from mercenaries that were chasing them. Mercenaries. As you saw in the cutscenes beforehand, we arrived here to the Garreg Mach Monastery itself, and we just need to go ahead and talk to Lady Rhea to go ahead and get our first quest here. And just before we continue, this is what it looks like, and this is basically what the game is kind of about, or this part of the game. You get to explore the monastery, so you get to just kind of run around with your character, which is pretty cool. You get to talk with all the other characters and units that are around the place. So let's just go ahead and talk to Rhea.
I assume you are already aware that you will be teaching here at the Officers Academy, correct? To start, please speak with the 3 house leaders. You should also take a look around the academy and acquaint yourself with your new home. That is your first task here at the monastery. Please let me know if you accept it. Once you have finished, come and speak with me.
I like how she says, please let me know if you're in accept it, and she's like, hey, go talk, like, let me know when you're done. So we can go ahead and view the quest. We just need to speak to the 3 house leaders and gather information about each student. Our reward for doing so will be the Iron Sword and the Vulnerary. So we're gonna go ahead and do that because we kind of have to. This is kind of an introduction to quests. You can basically go around, talk to many different people who are kind of scattered around. As you can see, Alois and Sedith are here. We're just gonna skip over it. Nothing really important. They're just gonna kind of welcome you here. So this is honestly very cool that you get to run around the monastery with your character. And basically what it was saying, the mini-map there on the top right, if you press ZR, you can kind of change the sight of it, or you can even make it as big as this, and you can kind of just see where your character is indicated by that purple arrow there. I personally like to have it around there, so it's not too high, and I can still kind of just see most of the room that I'm currently in. So we are actually in a new area of the monastery, the reception hall. This is basically where a lot of the people just come to gather. They don't have, I don't think they have meals. No, they don't have meals here, but this is basically where any big event will usually be taking place.
Hey there.
So we already see Edelgard here,
accepted
so
a teaching position here. Pity. I was hoping you would lend your strength to the Empire.
Too bad. This is the Blue Lions playthrough.
My name is Edelgard von Hresbach.
I am the
princess and heir apparent
So
of
you're
the
gonna see me butcher a lot of these names. I'm gonna kind of skip through this because
basically
basically what we're gonna be doing is learning about each student that the 3 house leaders are kind of in charge of. So as you see here, the Black Eagles consist of Edelgard, Hubert, Ferdinand, Lindhart, Caspar, Bernadetta, Dorothea, and Petra. I won't be going super deep into them yet because they're not part of the house that I would like to associate my character with. So we're going to come over here to the Officers Academy. This is basically where all the classrooms are that they separate the house leaders and everyone into, or the 3 houses for. My bad. This is where they teach the 3 houses. So we already see Claude here. He's just going to kind of say we scored a teaching gig. Just going to skip through it. But basically the Golden Deers consist of Claude himself, Lorenz, Raphael, Ignatz, Lysithia, Marianne, Hilda, and Leonie. So very nice. And then you can kind of look at the classrooms here. This is where all the students are going to be kind of chilling out. I'm not going to be really talking to many of them right now, as they don't really offer anything important to us, or kind of we don't gain any affinity for doing it. So this is just kind of where they're hanging out. So you can kind of talk to them individually if you'd like to.
Right.
But as you can see on the map, there are way too many students to talk to, so this would take way too long. So the main person we wanted to talk to here and kind of gather a lot of information from is Dimitri himself, because he's going to be the house leader that we want to choose.
I am Dimitri Alexandra Blathid, Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Of course, at the academy, I am.
So we kind of already giving us some information that we already know about him.
Become a professor here. Delightful news. I still have much to learn, but I'm confident I could benefit greatly from your guidance. In any case, welcome to the monastery. I hear you're investigating the different houses here.
Alright, we're just going to continue. We're going to say yes because here the Blue Lions consist of the characters Dimitri, Dedu, Felix, Ash, Sylvain, Mercedes, Annette, and Ingrid. And this is basically where this series is going to be taking a little informative twist that I like to do with my series or my informative ones like this. So I'm going to just go ahead and take it off in post commentary, and I'll see you when I'm done. Alrighty, let's go ahead and start looking into these bios real quick. I'm going to be explaining a little bit of the stats so that way you can see what each one does, because some of them will be self-explanatory while others need just a little bit of explanation. So HP will obviously be the health, the amount of health a character will have. Strength will be the physical damage that a character can output. Magic is the magical damage a character can output. Dexterity actually affects your hit rate and your crit rate. Speed affects numbers of strikes and evasion whenever attacking an opponent. Luck, from the Fire Emblem wiki, I found that 1 point in luck will increase both hit rate and evasion by 1 and reduce enemy critical hits by 1. Not 100% sure how it works. That's just what I saw, and I decided to I think that might how it be. Defense reduces physical damage. Resistance reduces magical damage. And Charm affects the effectiveness of gambits utilized by the battalion under a character's command. So that is strictly, that's a new skill that's been added to Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is actually pretty cool. So we'll be getting into those a little bit later. But let's go ahead and take a look at Dimitri here. He is the leader of the Blue Lions house. So he's a very, very good character, very strong character. The way that I'm gonna have the way that I'm gonna take him down is I'm gonna make him go through the paladin type like cavalry route, and then I'm gonna later utilize his later classes, which we'll get into later because I can't get into it now, unfortunately. His crest, which is the minor crest of Blathid, occasionally doubles attack and weapon uses for combat arts. So, and then his ability, which is Royal Lineage, grants him 20% more experience. And then his he has a budding talent in riding, which is seal movement if you actually succeed it. Or once you actually complete the teachings necessary to unlock it. After combat, if the unit damages a foe during combat, they will suffer movement -1 for 1 turn. It can be worth it. I personally will not be going for it. Well, I probably will, but at the same time, it's not too crazy. And then he has strengths in sword, lance, and authority, and he has weaknesses using axes and reasoning magic with that budding talent and riding. Next up we have Dedue. Dedue is a fantastic wall of a character. He is insane when it comes to the defense that this guy can have, especially with the classes and stuff that you put on him. So he unfortunately does not have a crest, which does it doesn't add or he doesn't lose anything, so it's all right. His ability Staunch Shield will actually grant him 4 defense for 1 turn if he just waits. So that is very, very useful. You'll see me utilize that a lot, so that way we can wall out some characters. He also does not have a budding talent, which is a little unfortunate. However, Dedue is also another character you do not want him to get hit by magic. As you can see with that 2 magic, he can't even deal it. And then that 1 resistance. That's harsh. And then he has strengths in lance, axes, brawling, and heavy armor. And he has some weaknesses. He has weaknesses in faith, riding, and flying. Oh, I'm also going to be taking him down the route of a Fortress Knight. That I want him to have as much walling potential as he can. So that's the route that I'm going to be taking him. Next up, we have Felix. Felix is a personal favorite of mine. He's a really good character. He can be used as a swords master or a sniper, however you want to take him. However, I'm going to have him utilize both because he can use them both pretty well. However, I'm going to be leaning more towards a swords master route, as I do feel that he deals the most damage that way, in my opinion. I might be missing out some bow stuff, but we'll see later down the road. But his crest, which is the major crest of Fraldarius, which is sometimes raises might when he's using a weapon. So it can be either a normal attack or a combat art, which is pretty cool. And he has his ability Lone Wolf is if Felix has no battalion or if his battalion endurance is at 0, he will gain 5 in attack. So he gains basically 5 extra damage in anything, so it's pretty cool. He has a budding talent in Reason, which is okay. It can be worth it if you want to use him as a dark mage, or having him use dark magic. It's basically black magic critical hit plus 10. It actually grants him plus 10% when in critical hit when using black magic. It's okay. However, I did use him as a Mortal Savant class, which is a mixture of both sword and magic. He's okay. He only gets 2 dark magic, and so you're not going to get tons of use out of it. So I personally won't be going too crazy for this during this playthrough, but it's alright. Next up, we have Ash. Ash is going to be one of those characters that I'm going to keep him using a bow. However, I'm going to have him also be siding with a little bit of lance usage as well, because he does have a budding talent there. He does not have a crest, unfortunately, so no bonuses, no nothing there, unfortunately. His ability Lockpick allows Ash to open up any chest or doors without needing a key, which can be useful in certain situations if you want to grab all the items there. His budding talent is actually a combat art that he gains called the Shatter Slash, which means after he uses it in combat, the opponent will be inflicted with -5 in defense, which is fantastic, and I will be using that, and I will be making sure to pick that up because it can be setting up for some very good kill potential, which is fantastic. So the way that I'm going to be running Ash is that I'm going to have him be more of a sniper with that little lance proficiency as well, so we can utilize that defense down for the turn being. So that's very useful. Next up, we have Sylvain. He's a very funny character personality-wise. However, he's just going to be another one of those. He can be a very good cavalry unit, is the way that I'm going to be running him, and the way that I usually run him. He has a minor crest of Gaudier, which occasionally raises might when using combat arts. So it can be useful for that extra damage potential. His ability Philanderer makes it so that if there's a female ally adjacent to him, he will deal 2 more damage and take 2 less damage during combat, which can be useful, and I will be making sure to try to remember this to avoid some dumb deaths. And he has a budding talent in Reason Magic, another character that actually utilizes it. However, he can use more dark magic, which can make it a little more worth it. However, I just personally will not be going down that route. However, he gets plus 20 in Avoid when using black magic, so it can be useful, but again, I will not be using it personally. He has strengths in Lance, Axe, and Riding. He has a weakness in Bow and that budding talent in Reason. Next up, we have Mercedes. Is one of my favorite characters ever. She was the first character I married, and she is the best healer in the game, period. I love this character to death. Her crest, which is the minor crest of Lemine, it occasionally conserves uses in recovery magic, so you can make sure you can use it for free. Her ability Live to Serve is why it makes her amazing, is because she heals the same amount of HP when healing an ally. So if you heal someone for 20 HP, she also gets healed for 20 HP at the same turn, so it's amazing. She has a budding talent in Bow. She will gain a combat art called the Waning Shot, which means that if she uses it, the opponent will get a -5 in strength for that one turn, which is actually really worth it too, so I'm going to be making sure to utilize that. So I'm going to have her be as a support character, and I'm going to make sure that she's going to be a support character using healing magic and all that, as well as bows to utilize that as well. So very, very worth it. She has 4 weaknesses, which are sword, lance, axes, and heavy armor. She has 2 strengths, being reason and faith magic, and she has that budding talent in bow. Next up, we have Annette. She is another personal favorite character of mine. She I'm going to be running her as a warlock whenever we can get that chance. So she's going to be primarily a mage. So her crest, which is the minor crest of Dominic, occasionally conserves uses an attack magic. So that's basically a free hit and not having to use up all of them. So her ability Perseverance also grants an ally +4 in strength for the 1 turn, which is fantastic. So she doesn't have any budding talent, unfortunately, but that's all right. She has a weakness in bow and heavy armor, while she has strengths in axe, reason, and authority. Last up for the Blue Lions, we have Ingrid, another character that I really enjoy using. She is more of a lady knight as well. She can utilize being one of those falcon knights. That's probably the way that I'm going to that is going to be the way that I'm going to use her, is that I want to try to make her a falcon knight who specializes in sword usages as well as lance, because she is fantastic as those lady knights. She has the minor crest of Daphne, which sometimes raises might when using combat arts. It's the same as Sylvain's, it's just different. Her ability, which is Lady Knight, actually grants her +3 in might and then +5 hit when using gambits. So she's going to be fantastic as a battalion user. And she does not have any budding talents, unfortunately, but she also doesn't have any weaknesses. She has 4 strengths, being sword, lance, riding, and flying. So that's going to be perfect for her. But before I move on, strengths and weaknesses means that how quickly and how slow that a character can learn a skill. So if they have a weakness in anything, it means that they'll be losing experience. Say, for example, you get 10 experience for learning that skill during teaching. It will take away 2 experience. So instead of getting 10, you'll get 8. And then whereas vice versa, you'll gain more experience if they have a strength in it. So you'll see a little bit later. I'll give an example of it. But just a heads up. It's not that they'll get hit by a bow and take more damage and all that. So the last character I actually want to take a look at is our main character, being it's the canon name is Byleth, but in this case it's Sunaak, however, but I want to go ahead and just keep Byleth there. But anyway, this character is set up so that you can use it however you'd like. This is your main character, and however, this goes for every single character in the game. The way that Fire Emblem Three Houses works is that you can make any character any class that you want, or have them go any route you want. However, there will be certain classes that they're made for, which will be a lot better. There'll be certain classes that it will just kind of, they'll not be the best in and be way outclassed. So it's just, this game is full of freedom. You can play however you want. However, the way that they kind of have it set up is that you can make this character a sword master. That's kind of more of the canon route, and that's probably going to be the way that I'm going to be doing it too, because swords tend to have better accuracy, and I do like the damage output that Byleth has for the sword skills. But anyway, the Mysterious Crest actually occasionally raises HP equal to 30% of the damage dealt. Will rarely raise might and stop counter attacks. That is Byleth's crest, which is fantastic. The ability that Byleth has is Professor's Guidance, which is kind of the same thing as Royal Lineage, which is +20 in experience gain for the user. However, if there are adjacent allies next to the professor, they will also gain 20% experience extra. So that's fantastic if you're trying to grind and level up with many characters. Just make sure you have Byleth next to it so you gain just that little extra. Byleth actually has a budding talent in Faith, being White Magic Avoid, which will grant 20 avoidance when using any white magic. So kind of like Nosferatu, healing, and all that type stuff. It's okay. I personally might just pick it up for the fact that, some of the attacks, I personally do that on my personal files anyway, so it's okay. I'll probably just pick it up. But however, I'm just going to be having my Byleth character just go down the sword route. I still haven't figured out if I want to have them be a flyer or a riding class, so I think I will definitely try to pick up a flying class too, but I still need to just see how I will be doing that later. But the Byleth characters have strength and sword, brawling and authority, and have that budding talent and faith, and that's just basically it.
I appreciate your
Awesome. So I really hope that you guys enjoy that bios of all the characters that I'm going to be introducing, because I'm going to be doing that every time we can recruit a new character to our house. So, oh, and also one thing that I failed to mention, I am not doing New Game Plus anymore. I failed to mention this in the beginning, but I am not doing New Game Plus anymore just due to the fact that I think it will kind of take away from an experience for people who are kind of going through this game for the first time. So even though I am going through Maddening and Classic, I still want to give myself that challenge, and then I'm just going to do it through a normal playthrough of the Blue Lions without the added benefits of being New Game Plus. So you guys can kind of join me for this struggle. But anyway, we went ahead and completed the task, so we got our items and our rewards. So we're just going to go ahead and return to the audience chamber to talk to Lady Rhea and everyone.
How are you enjoying your time at the Academy thus far? I hope you have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
I suppose it is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students. I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking in trackable history as yourself with such a task. But it is as the Archbishop desires.
The Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. All so different. I hope you've made it a point to get to know each of them.
Since you are new here, we have decided to allow you first pick. Manuela and I will take charge of the remaining 2 houses.
Which house will I choose? So very generous of them to let us choose. So obviously we're gonna go ahead and choose the Blue Lions.
So you have chosen the Blue Lion.
That is correct.
Your
So
heart
as you
has
can see,
made
the
its
border
choice
around the
then.
character or the
All I
cutscenes
ask
actually is
that
blue
you
now.
Guide these
So.
open minds with virtue, care, and sincerity.
They are all promising youths who bear the weight of Fodlan's future upon their shoulders. I hope you appreciate what an honor it is to lead them.
Brother? Oh, I am so sincerely sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
I'm in the middle of something, Flame. Is it urgent?
No, it's nothing. More importantly, who is this?
This is our newest professor at the Academy.
Oh my! A new addition to the Officers' Academy! I am so very pleased to meet you, Professor. I am Seteth's little sister, Flame. I am so happy to make your acquaintance.
Let us focus on the topic at hand. There is something you should be aware of. In a few days' time, there will be a mock battle between the 3 houses, intended to gauge the current progress of the students. We will be using this battle as an opportunity to ascertain your own abilities as well. Please do not disappoint the Archbishop. That is all.
Wait, does this mean our new professor is... No! I really can't believe it! But I was speaking to you so casually, as though we were companions. Oh, I am so sorry, Professor. You just look the same age as the rest of us, and... Oh, and I'm sorry I just said that too. I really must watch my tongue. You say that, but I just don't know about all of this.
I'll admit, it doesn't sit well with me either. After all, we wish to show you due respect.
Sure, but if the professor says it's okay, shouldn't that be enough? That is, if your highness can consent to such a thing. After all, we're already speaking this way to our future king, so we may as well relax our speech with our professor too, right?
Well, we're not in the kingdom, so it only goes to follow that we should all speak companionably. I concede. If the professor says it's fine, we ought to accept that kindness gratefully.
As for me, I'm not sure I can manage. You don't have to force yourself if it's too difficult. You're fine with that too, right, Professor?
Come to the training ground later. There, you will show me what you're capable of.
You aren't wasting any time, are you, Felix? As it were, count me in for any such battle.
Pardon me.
but I would also love to observe you in battle for future reference, if that's okay with you.
Ash, I won't have you speak of merely watching. You should join us as well.
If you get injured, simply say the word and I'll patch you up straight away.
Your Highness, do take care not to go overboard.
You worry too much to do. I'll be fine, I promise.
My companions, is there not something inherently wrong with crossing blades as a way to bond with each other?
Huh, I never thought of it that way. Well, if that's how you feel, I suppose you'll just stay behind while the rest of us are at the training ground?
Ingrid, my dearest friend, you really are too harsh on me.
Well then, Professor, what do you think? As you can see, the Blue Lion House is a lively bunch, but you'll find none who work harder. I'm certain we'll cause our fair share of trouble, but I'm very much looking forward to the year ahead.
Alrighty, so as you can see, there's going to be a lot of those type of cutscenes where they bounce back and forth with each other. So I really hope you don't mind that I stay quiet and kind of don't even read the answer choices that are given. But just know that if there are ones that give affinity and stuff, I will make sure to choose those if I remember them. If not, I mean, I'm just going to be choosing what the answer sounds best, I guess. But this is basically what the Three Houses game is going to be looking like. You're going to be going off like a calendar system. So there's new places to explore in the monastery, so that it'll let you know whenever their places open up, because there's a lot more to do in the monastery, because I don't know if you saw on the map, a lot of it was grayed out. So, and each month we will be receiving some money from the church themselves, so we can just participate in some monthly activities. So we got 1,000 for now, but that will increase later.
Say, while you're here, I'd like to use this device I designed to determine whether the power of a crest resides within you. Won't hurt a bit. Promise. You don't know about crests? Well, allow me to tell you everything, absolutely everything about them. Is your calendar clear? This will take a while. Crests are a fascinating topic, but before one can dive deeply into said topic, one must first understand what crests are. They are power incarnate. They are said to have been bestowed upon humans by the goddess countless ages ago. They exist within the flesh and are passed down through bloodlines. Those who carry crests may excel at magic, display exceptional strength, or any number of boons. Each crest has its own power, the nature of which is beyond mortal understanding. For now. I suspect as much, yes. But we won't know for sure unless I look into the matter. As I said, crests are passed down through the blood. However, just because someone carries a crest does not necessarily mean their descendants will inherit it as well. Only a scarce few descendants of a crest's bloodline end up inheriting that crest's power. Perhaps one of your ancestors bore a crest, and you just happen to inherit it. That is how a crest usually presents itself, after all. Yes, of course. I'll get to the bottom of it straight away. Now then, please go ahead and hold out your arm over this device here. What is this? A pattern I've never seen before. Is it possible an as yet undiscovered crest has been detected? To think there are still crests out there that even I am unaware of. How thrilling! Pardon my unrestrained jubilation. I have much to consider. You may leave now. I have more research to do in regard to this crest. Yes, so very much more research. But for now, your work here is done. What could this line here be indicating? Perhaps it represents a lack of symmetry. Or perhaps... What in the world? Oh, I see. It may be connected to that, but to a greater degree than usual.
Alrighty, that was a lot to take in. Okay, so basically we're gonna go ahead and start.
Professors of the Officers Academy
See what she has to say,
because
because it's basically we're gonna have to take notes on each day and events and everything that's gonna be. We're gonna have to pay very close attention to the calendar, because the monastery schedule features different events and different days. Each week you will have one day off when you may choose an activity from the list. Your only option will be to first explore right now, because it's just kind of a tutorial time right now, but this is only for a little bit. It won't be hand-holding too much. But as you can see here, we have the calendar. You can kind of check it out and see what events are coming up, so you can go ahead and plan accordingly. For example, you see the cakes, those are the birthdays of the characters, so you can kind of do that and take notes or whatever, or you can just, because you can't go forward in time or you can't look backwards. So if you want to make sure you're getting your favorite character and stuff, just constantly make sure you're checking. And if you see those little golden circle things with the F in the center, those are your free days. So it's basically every Sunday. And then also the actions taken, they'll kind of just show you what other players are doing throughout the time, but only if you're connected to online. So we have one free day. We're just gonna go ahead and explore, and it's gonna basically open up more of the monastery. So this is my room. I thought I heard a girl's voice, but I must have been imagining it. Okay. So I'm gonna grab these real quick because these are DLC items, but I'm not gonna be using them right away. Just don't want to show them exactly because it can spoil certain things for the stories later that I want to show. You have a journal here. I believe you can access this if you haven't. Okay, yes, this is what it looks like if you haven't done New Game Plus. You'll just only have unit appearance, and you can kind of just change the way that the students look. It won't spoil anything, thankfully, because in New Game Plus, that was one of the reasons why I also decided not to go New Game Plus, because I didn't want to spoil anything. So you can kind of just put your characters to dress up in random clothing. They have certain things, summer wear, which is not like any swimsuits or anything like that. It's like all student attire, I believe is what it is. It's just different, but I prefer to keep them in their academy uniforms because they just look better in them, and because that's their default design. And then plus in battle they're probably going to change as well. So your bulletin board is basically going to show you how many quests and who's asking for it and the rewards that come with it. Weekly announcements and everything, I need to double check when that comes up because I haven't seen it in such a long time. So we're just going to go ahead and explore. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab these quests as I see them. So this is Dudu. He's gonna teach us about planting in the greenhouse, which is very nice. No, they want to talk to you.
I hear there will be a mock battle.
Okay, so basically he's just gonna be talking about the mock battle, and then he's gonna talk to you about certain things about the exploration of this game. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him explain all these different little things real quick.
Both students and teachers of the Officers Academy are free to use the facilities within the monastery. For example, you can dine with others at the dining hall, or partake in one-on-one combat at the training grounds. I encourage you to wander around the monastery and lend an ear to the people living here.
Okay, so those are the facilities. I already went over the bulletin boards and quests. It's just gonna show you who's asking for it and stuff.
You would do well to check it once a month.
Yeah, so they basically say check it every once a month. Activity points.
Saying, but no matter which facility you use,
it's gonna be kind of like the time consumed using a facility, so it's just gonna be doing that. And then as your professor level, it's kind of the higher it is, the more times you can actually teach your students, and I think that also affects stuff in battle, which we will go over later. But for now, these are the dormitories. So this is where all the students stay, obviously. If we had spoke to Sedith, he would have told us and explained that this is all for the commoner students, and the royalty is kind of separated and up on the second floor in kind of nicer rooms. Well, not that they're nicer rooms and stuff, but they're separated because of the whole class system, I guess, in the olden days.
Hey,
so we're gonna talk to Sylvain real quick, pick up his quest. He's gonna show us basically what it is to share a meal with your students. So, and here we have the greenhouse and the fishing pond. So excuse me that this is kind of like a tour basically of what we're seeing so far, but it's just for the beginning of the game, and obviously they're just going to show us everything right away. And we have Ash here. So
did you come to look at the plants too? There are so many rare
no,
flowers.
didn't really. Just came to do a quest.
And
But
herbs
if you
I
say
never
that he's
even
well
knew.
informed
My
on the
adopted
subject, you
father
gain
is
some
the real
affinity with
expert.
him, which is
You should
nice.
try looking.
So just want to go ahead and use that real quick and do some gardening. So basically, by gardening, you can harvest all kinds of crops. Flowers, for instance, make great gifts. Some people might even decorate the rooms, but that's not the reason why you want to give it to them. But we basically use the plant command, and we put however many seeds that we can. As of right now, since our professor level is pretty low, we can only do one thing at a time right now. So we can do that, and then we can cultivate them, which actually makes it so that you can increase the yield. But for now, we can only just infuse it for magic, and it's just free, but doesn't really do anything. But that's one thing that we're going to make sure that we're utilizing every time we explore, is planting and getting things, because this is a good place to actually start farming for stat boosting items and gifts for students. So
I'm a little busy. I really can't right now.
just gain some affinity for Cyril right there. He's he's an orphan boy that works around here. So this is Lindhart of the Black Eagles. I'm not gonna go around and talking to everyone. I'm just getting the ones that I know. But here we can fish. I'm not gonna do it right this second because there's actually a quest here if we talk to Flame.
Hello there, Professor. Well, I call you that, but I am afraid I am not a student here myself.
So that's
Should
a
the
shame.
opportunity
So you
arise,
gain some affinity with
the
her. It's not
monastery
bad.
is kind enough. Might
View
you help me
quest.
with a
She basically
favor?
wants us to go catch a fish. Not too bad. But first, while we're here, we have the dining hall. So this is basically where we get to have meals with the students. Very simple and very, very self-explanatory. And this is where you can actually, it's not only having a meal, but there's other things you can do here too, but it'll come up later. Hoping to spar with you. Gonna go ahead and get some affinity with you. And here it is. We're gonna have to hit today's special. And the way that this works is that if you look at the characters on the left, and if they have a blue arrow, that means that's their favorite meal or their favorite type of meals, and they'll enjoy it and gain more affinity for it. Whereas if there's nothing, they're just kind of neutral to it, and then if it's red, they will dislike it. And then the yellow faces on certain students, that's only applying to the students that are in your house. So if, for example, Mercedes and Annette, I'm going to go ahead and have lunch with them because it's 2 students. It's good to do that with students within your own house as well because you can increase their motivation.
Today's dish was so good. Oh, but not as good as your homemade sweets, Mercy.
You're too kind. Maybe I'll bake some for you next time, Professor.
So that was a unique little dialogue between them. There is unique dialogue depending on the characters. We're gonna go up a professor level here, which is pretty good. So what's it gonna say? Now we have more activity points for exploration, which is pretty nice, and we will receive more money. So that's another way to increase our monthly salary.
Nice. I knew I could count
So
on
we
you.
did that. But yes, there is unique dialogue depending on what students you pair up for the dinners or the lunches. They have to have some sort of affinity with each other or kind of have some little backstories with each other for that to happen. But entirely who has one, I'm not 100% sure. So basically for fishing, to begin fishing, you select your bait. Obviously, that's what we're going to do right now. We wait until we see the silhouette of the fish that we want to catch. We don't have to catch immediately on the first one. We can let it go and we can do another one. So if you want to, and then you press A to hook it, don't wait too long though, or the fish will escape on the bait. So basically, I think there's only a certain amount of numbers that you can wait. I'm going to try it. I think it's 3 and then it goes away. So I'm going to let the first one pass. So it's little blue silhouettes. Those are small fish. I think it's only going to give us that, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. If you guys have played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that little mini game should be kind of familiar. You just got to press A within that purple circle. So super simple. You can also gain some professor experience there. It's very little, but at least it's something. So, but I wouldn't use it too heavily to grind for it.
You have helped me so much.
And awesome. Cool, so we completed all the quests and really everything that we can for today already, so we can finish up for the day. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys one last thing before we go. Here is, and it's the funniest name of a place ever. It's the Amiibo Gazebo. So, I don't know why this keeps giving out items and stuff, but I like to come over here. And I think it's because I had scanned one a long time ago when I had this game. And I think it just keeps giving items out, but if not, I need to double check to see if like it just spouts it out because. But there's some items here that are very useful. For example, you saw the planting material and then like some potions and stuff, so it's just pretty good. So, and I think that's really it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off today. Cool. So as you saw there, you like whenever it's someone's birthday, I don't know why I didn't explain it right then and there, but it's someone's birthday, they will ask for flowers, or it will ask for you to give them flowers for some support. It costs 200, and I didn't do it at that moment because I didn't want to waste a little bit of the money. But basically, we have the mission here. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle it. So just so you know that this episode might take a little long, or might be a little longer than normal. It's just because we had to do the exploration and do all these missions and everything all together. So we're gonna go ahead and take on the mock battle here.
Ah, it's finally time for the mock battle. I'm eager to put my skills to use. And you, Professor? Excellent. I have high expectations for your command. That said, I've no doubt it will take everything we've got to pull a victory. Our opponents are mighty, that much is certain, but I'm positive we can win.
Hey there, did we miss our invite to this strategy meeting? No worries, we'll just join in now.
Nice try, Claude, but I do not intend to let slip our strategies, especially when we are up against such strong opponents as you two.
Well now, kind words from His Kingliness. If that's the case, we better come up with some clever schemes so as not to disappoint. Right, Princess?
Right. No matter the tactics you devise, we will destroy you. The best you can hope for is to learn a thing or two.
There's nothing wrong with a friendly rivalry, but let's not get carried away. A rash attitude could be your undoing after all.
Perhaps your time would be better spent preparing instead of worrying about the competition's mindset.
Hey now, if you two were getting this fired up before the battle even starts, it'll make it that much easier for my class to sweep up a win. So please, carry on.
A good point, Claude. I apologize, that wasn't my intention. At any rate, let's vow to make this a productive battle, shall we?
Oh? In that case, I won't hold back.
Oh, how precious. Looks like you and the students have become fast friends.
While I am pleased that you are taking the initiative to acquaint yourself with the students, I'm afraid it's about time for the faculty strategy meeting.
Ah, how time flies. In that case, I'll see you later.
I look forward to assessing your abilities. I hope you don't disappoint.
All right, so this is just gonna introduce quite a bit of some mechanics. So we have some magic. Magic can be provided new means of attack and defense. Basically, it's a skill that mages have. So gain access to determined by their skills. So study, reason. Okay, so yeah. So we can get into that a little bit later. But there's some magic users out in battle right now. So we have some battle preparations. I can just show that off right now. So you have the wheel. You have, I believe it's 9 options. No, 8 options. There's 8 options that you can choose from. Well, 9 in the middle. You got your units. You can basically go over each individual unit here. And while I'm here, I actually want to go ahead and... the ones that I'm going to take into battle will be myself and Dimitri because they're forced to. And then Mercedes, Felix, and Annette. Those are the characters that I'm going to be using. Next up, you also have the inventory. I'm actually going to take Ash's iron bow and trade it to Mercedes because he's not going to be using it right now, so might as well have someone else use it. So that's all I'm going to really be doing. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and deposit the iron axe because we got that given to us, and then the iron sword, as well as the vulneraries because I don't need all that much. And then next up, you got the save option because you can save here and then make it so that whenever you reload that save, you start on this screen. System is your options. Quit, obviously go back to the previous screen. Marketplace is not chosen yet, but you can buy items, armor, all that stuff from this screen as well. Support, you can actually just check the support between the characters and how much might, avoid, and hit you all have between each other when you're next to each other. And then you have the map. You can basically look at the map and prepare as best as you can. The one thing about this map, it's kind of crap, is that they say it's a mock battle between the 3 houses. However, it is basically a 2-on-1 because they're not separate enemies. They're all considered together. So that's kind of crap in my opinion. So basically, I think that's it. I'm going to save the option real quick here, and then why don't we just go ahead. Well, actually, you can also change the in the map feature, you can actually change. Actually, that's exactly where I want them. So with that, let's just go ahead and fight. So there's a victory condition. We got to defeat everyone, and then we will lose if either Sunaak or Dimitri dies.
It is about time for the battle to begin. Our victory depends on your leadership. Do not let us down.
Awesome.
I'm sure you already understand, but the house that defeats the other 2 is declared. Incidentally, I'll be.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of go over that. But since this is a practice battle, classic mode does not take an effect, so we will not lose anyone permanently. So that's okay in my book. So another thing here, you'll notice that I don't have the layout on the screen. It's because I did also want to show more of the battles too. And I just outright got rid of the layout, unfortunately. But so that way you all can see and actually get immersed more. So I'm actually going to put Mercedes here, and then I'm going to equip her with the iron bow. This was a strategy that I saw another YouTuber did. I forgot who it was, but I'm going to go ahead and rally strength with Annette, so Mercedes can power up her bow. Gonna have Sunaak wait here, and then just Dimitri and Felix kind of rally around everyone. Okay.
None of your shallow tactics are required, Claude. Ignatz and I will dismantle the opposition.
Me? But I'm not ready.
Are you making light of our new professor? If you drop your guard, you're gonna get hurt.
Dorothea, will you head toward the front lines? I wish to draw the enemy toward us.
You got it, Adie. Leave it to me.
Ferdinand, Hubert, if the enemy comes, stop them.
Leave it to us. Although I could do this on my own.
Clearly not, or Her Highness would not ask me to watch your back.
Cool, so I'm gonna just kind of stay quiet whenever some characters talk and everything too. So, cool, so we didn't miss. Because I've had some practice runs that went terribly there. Cool, so our luck is kind of going good right now, but I'm not gonna push it too far, so. Okay, so Ignatz is going. I like to have Felix go ahead and finish off Dorothea with a Rat Strike.
My. The new professor seems very capable.
Why, thank you.
Why am I even here?
Cool, so gain some experience, and it's still very little experience, unfortunately. That's maddening mode for you. I'm gonna have Annette go ahead and use Wind on Lorraine. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be a lot of damage. And then I'm also gonna have Mercedes Iron Bow him, just to chip it away, so Dimitri can also get this finishing blow. Because it's just the perfect amount of health. So I wouldn't have to use like a combat art and waste more durability. Cool. So then, Sunaak, you can go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and Wrath Strike to get some extra damage. Cool. So, what's up next? I think Ignatz...
Well
it
done,
doesn't
Teach.
show who he's going to
I may have
attack.
to take this seriously after all.
It doesn't show who Ignatz is going to attack, but I believe it. Yeah, it's going to be Dimitri. Cool. Not too much, but 12 is still kind of scary. What do I want to finish him off with? I think... I mean, let's go ahead and have Felix go ahead and take the kill.
I've lost. The new professor is quite a commander.
Next time, bring your friends.
Awesome. I really want to get Felix up in the levels and stuff because he's one of my favorite characters to use. How far can you go? Okay, so I'm going to put Dimitri right here. Wait, can she? Yeah, I'm going to put Dimitri here. And then I'm going to heal him with Mercedes because I love her ability so much, dude. Holy crap.
Thanks.
Cool. So she basically heals up the same amount. So everyone's actually not looking bad at all. I'm going to go ahead and also put everyone kind of around the areas where I want them. So excuse me, you're going to see a couple turns just go by with me fiddling around here. I like to put everyone kind of in a good position. You won't make it there. So I'm going to rally Mercedes, actually, because she's going to kind of do another bait and switch with another magic user. Let's go ahead and, wait there. If you press A, you can actually see the other options, but I like to do that and just hit N.
Are you really gonna fight two houses at once? An impressive display of confidence.
Victory is in sight, Black Eagles. Do not let up.
A little cocky, aren't they? But I actually really like Edelgard. She's really cool. God, I've had some terrible luck in some practice runs where Hubert got his critical hit and knocked out Mercedes super early. And this is where I struggle because I think I might lose some students in this battle because of the bad placements and stuff. But I'm hoping not. What is my move now? I want to check because these students are actually really high. Everyone's like level 7. And then we're barely reaching level 2 for some characters and 1. Okay, so I'm going to attack Hubert with Sunaak and just go ahead and do another Wrath Strike there.
As
Okay,
expected.
so we're gonna go ahead and get him out of here. I want to have everyone kind of fall back into these bushes. They're basically going to attack. They're gonna get Mercedes, and I don't like that. I'll have her be here. Here's a Vulnerary real quick. I don't want Manuela to hit him because any magic hit with Dimitri or going towards Dimitri will instantly be bad. So, who will go for you? Ferdinand and Edelgard. And then the same will be for me. This is a terrible move, but I need to see how this goes. Ugh, 19 damage. I hate that. I think Felix is gonna go down. Oh no, he went for me. Good, good, good. I actually wanted that. Who to attack now? Okay, so everyone's gonna get the position. Manuela and Hanman scare me a lot because of their damage potential. So I want you to finish off. Oh, you can't even finish off Edelgard. Oh, I hate this so much. Okay. So I think I'm going to attack Edelgard with Annette to get that distance. And then I'm going to finish her off with Felix because that is really something that needs to happen. Cool, so that experience was nice.
I can feel the difference.
cool. So got some okay-ish levels. Not too bad.
Forced to retreat. Well, things will only get tougher from here on out.
Okay, so I don't know what Manuela's gonna do if I do this. Well, she's obviously going to attack, but she won't do too much, which is good. But the thing that bothers me is how little health Sunaak has. Okay, how about this? I really need him to miss. Of course he doesn't. That was actually a really bad play. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so I think I need to do this. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Ferdinand.
Is that all?
And then I'm gonna heal Felix with Mercedes because I think Manuela is gonna do some bad damage to him, and I don't think she'll kill him. Fingers crossed. Okay, they're inching in. Okay, so she went for Dimitri, which is bad, but at least he survived. Okay, so this is not looking good.
Be mindful.
I'm gonna kind of like retreat everyone.
Use caution.
Okay, but for now I can't have. How much will she do? Okay, she's gonna not do too bad damage to. But she's gonna hit pretty hard. Okay, so I think what I'll do is that I think I want to rally Felix to give him some more strength. That's what I really love about Annette. And then get some 21 damage off on Manuela. She's gonna heal someone with that Nosferatu, unfortunately, so she's kind of 4 back. And then okay, so no one's gonna be able to attack Dimitri from there. And I'm gonna finish her off with the Tempest Lance. Okay, cool. So we're making some good progress. I've actually was expecting more people to. I actually skipped over her thing, my bad.
So, you've made it past Manuela, eh? I see now I must focus and then make my move.
Okay, you scare me, sir. I don't like you at all. Okay, I'm going to heal Dimitri because if he dies, we're gonna have to reset, and I don't want that. Okay, so they're gonna start inching closer, and I don't like that. So they start doing this movement.
Focused.
I don't like it. Okay, so how can I get everyone out of here?
Stay vigilant.
I'm gonna send Felix down that way. I'm going to put Mercedes there.
Thanks.
Good. And then
I'll cut through.
going to kind of give myself a little bit of an advantage in the ways of, I guess, just getting everyone out of the way. And then I'm going to throw... Oh no, he's going to hit Dimitri. I don't like that. I can't do anything. Crap. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna kind of bait them in.
Psst, your princeliness. You got a thing for Edelgard, right? Come on, fess up. You'll feel better.
Claude, please. This is no time for idle banter. Your defenses are wide open.
That didn't get to him, huh? What a shame. I'll find a better way to ruffle him up next time.
Ugh, I'm actually kind of glad I healed him. That's not fun. So she's gonna have some terrible accuracy. Okay, good. You missed. Okay. Hanneman is coming in, and I do not like that. Hanneman is my biggest
At my limit.
threat. Okay, for now, I can actually attack Claude for free. I think I need to heal him. Okay, so I'm gonna heal Dimitri with a vulnerary. And then I'm gonna heal... Ooh, I don't like this at all. Okay, so I'm gonna heal him with Mercedes again. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to... I want to see if we can knock out Claude, because I'm not 100% worried about Hilda because of the fact that she has a throwing axe and I think she's going to try to stay from distance. Because I want some... Okay, so I think the big focus is to be Claude.
Coming up with brilliant schemes I can handle, no problem, but I'm not much for fighting. Go easy on me. You know that was a joke, right? Jeez, not so much as a smile.
Alright, so I'll get out of here. And again, guys, I'm terribly sorry that this is going on for a lot longer. Yo, that was a good level up.
I hate...
Okay, so you hate to lose, but too bad, so sad. He's going to attack someone, but it sucks that it doesn't show what he was gonna, like, who he's gonna attack. That's the problem. Okay, so I think you're just gonna get attacked by a hand axe, but you're not gonna get attacked direct on. Ah, crap. I see Felix going down, unfortunately. Yeah, he's going down. Yo, chill. Let him in. Okay, so that's fine. I will take that because he is kind of... He's not going to be permanently gone. That's the biggest saving grace from this. But
I'll cut through.
He was my hardest hitter. No, I can't attack him with Dimitri. Okay, so my biggest worry is Hilda right now, but... Okay, so we've got to heal up a little bit there. I'm surprised. What? He didn't counterattack? Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Alright. Can Annette actually knock him out? No, because he has too much resistance. I think the biggest thing is to kind of have everyone else in the forest because of how inaccurate her throwing axe is. Who's she gonna attack? Okay, she's gonna go for a net. Okay, so that's fine. I'll just keep him. I'll keep her there. I'll go ahead and... Oh, he only has... I don't need to do Tempest left. Okay. Cool, so he's down. Okay, so we just have Hilda. As long as Sunaak and Dimitri don't die, we got this in the bag.
I must keep aiming higher.
Cool, so that's an okay level up. Intermediate seal, so... Thanks for gonna rally for this support, so...
Watch and learn.
Look at that, saw that coming. Cool, so now we can actually go ahead and finish off Hilda. She's still potentially scary, so I'm just gonna hit her with all that we can, because I know that we won't die, thankfully. So can Dimitri just finish her off? Awesome, perfect. And with that, we finished it off. It was Hilda. Sorry, but yes, it was.
Who's next?
Cool.
Right,
so we only lost
that.
Felix,
The
so
winner
thankfully he's not
this
permanently
mock
gone.
Battle is the Blue Lion House.
This victory is the result of everyone's hard work. Thank you, my friends. You did well.
Cool, so he's the MVP, and his motivation got maxed out. Pretty nice.
Professor, I've been looking for you. I was hoping we could all share a meal together. It could serve as both a victory celebration and a post-battle analysis. What do you think? Of course. Why wouldn't you be?
Come now, Professor. We can't very well celebrate without the key to our victory present.
He's right. He really is. We were only able to win because we had your help, Professor.
Yes. Compared with that boar who knows nothing save frontal attacks, your tactics were nearly decent.
Felix, you really ought to stop picking fights with His Highness.
Don't worry, Ingrid. I encourage all to speak freely. And I must agree that the Professor's tactics were truly extraordinary. I have much to learn.
Oh, sure. But today was exhausting. I'm so hungry I can barely stand.
To be honest, so am I. Let's head to the dining hall. Together.
Professor, I'm sorry to intrude, but you don't look too happy for someone who just won. Well, I understand how hard it can be to accept joy sometimes. I'm sorry for prying. I know we only just met, so this may be difficult for you, but I'd love nothing more than to share our happiness with you. Joy can be so fleeting, after all. We're all in this together, so I hope you will consent. I'm sure the rest of the class feels the very same. Well, come along, Professor. Let's enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Your work with the students was remarkable. I can see Gerald trained you well. I do hope you were able to use the occasion to bond with the students. I'm so happy to hear it. Nothing would please me more than if you used this coming year to grow closer still.
Of course, the mock battle was mere practice. The real fight is the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, which will take place during the Wyvern Moon. You are expected to properly train your students so as not to humiliate the Academy during the long-held tradition that is the coming battle.
As for today, I have called you here to tell you of your mission for the month ahead. Your class is to dispose of some bandits causing trouble nearby.
Those affiliated with Garreg Mach Monastery have a moral obligation to help those in need, regardless of social standing. Students are no exception. Each month before the newly birthed moon departs, each house of students must complete their assigned mission. You shall work to complete the task at hand alongside your students and report back to the Archbishop before the deadline. Understood? I will soon provide you with the necessary details for your first mission. If I told you now, I expect you would only forget, and I despise repeating myself.
I can sense something special within your heart. I have high hopes for you.
Bandits, they say. Do you recall when we first met? You shall not fall so shamelessly again, correct? Have you no words for me? Do not tell me that you are shocked to hear from me. You ought to know that I am always with you now. To hear my voice should not come as a shock. Whatever shall I do with you? I am alive within the confines of your heart. I am unknown to all but you, but through your eyes and ears, I see and hear. Just listen to your heart, as you are doing now, and we may speak like this. That is all that I know.
What is this nonsense? All I was told was to kill as many noble pipsqueaks as possible. No one said anything about the Knights of Damned Saros being on our trail.
You have proven yourself worthless, distracted by something so trivial. I had hoped you would achieve your goal despite the setback. But now a child of the Knight's former captain is in play. How interesting.
Hey, this isn't what I agreed to!
Hiring a mercenary as a professor. What was that woman thinking?
Are you listening to me? How do we finish this?
You die.
What?
Underestimating the Knights was an amateur mistake. One you will pay for. The road to eternal torment awaits you all. Now I must locate your replacements.
Wait! Get back here! Damn you!